But when it came to WWE, I'd say my top guy was probably Kurt Angle, and I would tell him to his face. So it was a very much so a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was gonna
a
say,
Cinderella story with a bunch of hard work behind it. You don't win those state championships by being
dude,
Cinderella wearing a
and I will
glass
say
slipper.
this: every practice, I did the practice hard, and then I would leave, go over to my friend's house, and get another workout in,
Yeah.
drink protein shakes, go home,
Wow.
eat dinner, pass out, wake up, do it again. And
Mm.
even when I tore my knee, it didn't stop. I still showed up to practice, did what I could, and still worked out again. And honestly, like you said, the hard work paid off because even with knee surgery, I still
Yeah.
crushed it. So it was a good year. 2000, 2003, 2004 were pretty good years. But
Yeah. Did
hey,
you have any other discipline besides amateur wrestling when you got into MMA? Did you do the karate, the judo when you were a
uh
kid?
no, but I will say this. When I was, doing the amateur wrestling in high school and throughout college, I did buy 4 ounce gloves. I bought a couple pairs of them. And me and my buddies after practice, we might put stipulations like, hey, no, like kick your knees to the head, only body shots or something. But we would practice mixed martial arts to the best of our abilities. So I think I had enough like fights like that, because I think a lot of fighters have a lot of street fights or they have martial arts discipline. For me, it was amateur wrestling, but I was a fan of pro wrestling, a fan of mixed martial arts. And, I'm big on, I can watch something, see something, and usually duplicate it. So I felt like when I'd watch fighting or say amateur wrestling or jujitsu or judo, and I would see a technique, I would look at it like 3 or 4 times, and then I would go do it, practice it, and I was usually able to, obtain most of that knowledge.
Yeah, when you were coming up, you were watching wrestling, and you were in New York, so obviously you was watching a lot of WWF. Did you have a favorite? Did you see somebody that really kind of tipped your thinking about I want to do this?
Well, I think when I was younger, I was, more into the flashier kind of wrestling. So say like a Rob Van Dam. I was really big into, I really enjoyed his moveset, his martial arts background, being able to throw kicks and also do the flips and his laid back persona. But when it came to WWE, I'd say my top guy was probably Kurt Angle, and I would tell him to his face. Saw him last weekend at WrestleCon. He went
He's
over,
mine
gave me.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the guy not only was creative, but and added submission elements into his Olympic level wrestling. But it was the intensity. It looked like he wanted to win, tried to win, and I think that's one thing when you have a combat background. Even when I go into a professional wrestling ring, I might be fist bumping everybody, riding scooters, doing whatever. But when that bell rings and we're circling up, it gets real. I carry myself a certain way, and I think that goes a long way in in our line of entertainment.